just now leaving the Y. Got a pretty solid swim workout in. We did 4 sets of 4 times 50 meters every 2 minutes. So I'll do as fast as I can there and back, and for 2 minutes, during 2 minutes. I mean, sometimes I'd be over, sometimes I'd be under 30 seconds to get there and back, but every 2 minutes we'd start a new one, so that would leave me with a minute and a half of rest. So with these workouts, we'll do sometimes we'll do just 3 sets of 50, 3 times 4 times 50, but with only a minute rest or on every minute. So those aren't going to be as high speed as these. Like the ones that I'm doing today, like with every 2 minutes of rest, when I have a minute and a half of rest, that allows you to be able to push each piece harder. So we're supposed to take advantage of the rest and really try to relax, because when coach gives you more rest in between, that means you're supposed to push the pieces harder. If there's less rest in between, it's more of an average pace type deal. Like, yeah, you're still pushing them hard, but your body's not going to physically be able to do your top speed on every piece if you only have 30 seconds of rest. Compared to a minute and a half of rest, it's, so they're 2 different workouts. Like, yeah. Another thing is, if you're gonna have only 3 sets of 4 times 50, well, that goes ahead and tells you, like, they're supposed to be hard if you're getting only 3 sets, but with less rest, you're not gonna be able to max every one. You're gonna max every one, but you're not gonna be able to get the same speed you would with a minute and a half of rest for 4 times 50. So coach will, you have to balance each workout. We could do 3 times 4 times 25. So, it's a lot of sprinting with less rest. But today was a lot of sprinting with more rest, so it's more of I think it's harder, in my opinion. Less rest stuff, you don't have much time to rest, so you don't really cool down as much. You can just keep going and going. But with this minute and a half rest, it kind of slows the body down. The heart rate drops again all the way down. Not all the way down, but it drops enough to where it's like when you start again, you're starting from a low heart rate, so you can push harder. So it really tricks the body and kills you. But compared to the others, your heart rate with the sets with less rest, if you only have 30 to a minute, your heart rate's not going to drop near as far. So you can keep it up, and it's kind of hard to give the same effort levels, if that makes any sense. But anyways, other than that, feeling pretty toast. About to run through Chick-fil-A. I usually go home and cook, a healthy meal, like cook some eggs with, egg whites and some fruit and cereal. So I'm just really feeling a dang biscuit today. It's Friday, so I'm gonna treat myself a little. I'm still gonna go cook my egg whites and whatnot, but kind of upset. I usually take my watch in the pool and make sure it's set, you know, on pool swimming setting, and just to track my heart rate and my speeds and stuff, but it was on my kayak setting, so I'm kind of sad about that. I don't get to see all my data, which is, it is what it is, but kind of sucks. But I'm in Chick-fil-A parking lot now, in the drive-thru. Line's pretty dang long, like normal. But the thing about Chick-fil-A, you know, like the other lines, it's just mostly a one-lane deal. They don't have anybody out. You gotta order from the dang speaker. Like Chick-fil-A, they've got 2 workers out here all the time. Speeds up the whole process. So I think I mean, you could fit more cars in this drive-thru, but probably still get out faster than you would at Taco Bell or McDonald's or Zaxby's. You know, Zaxby's is so good, but it takes forever to get through the line. Finally starting to build into some sprints. And that's what I'm doing on this. So I'll start pretty light and then build it into a nice pickup. It was a lot of fun. I really like doing this stuff. There's a lot of debris in the lake right now, so gotta be careful not to. You can't really tell in this video, but it's gotten worse. Just try to find an open lane where there's not logs and trees. We get a bunch of like runoff with branches and trees, trash. Our lake isn't like the cleanest. I mean, it's clean, but there's a lot of runoff because of the hills. Like it basically sits a lot lower than the land does. And it's just a bunch of like big hills that surround the lake. So we get a bunch of, you know, stuff from the woods but that's still one of the best workouts. I like this. It's a lot of fun. One of the best workouts I've had so far this year. Moving into the new boathouse on Monday. Y'all are going to get a good tour video, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to walk around the whole inside and share it with you. Now I'm doing a stretching routine that I always do. I do this for warm-up, but for the warm-up I only do 10 seconds. And when I'm actually stretching, like, you know, after, it's less of a warm-up, it's more trying to loosen up, so I do 30 seconds per hold, and then I just focus on loosening everything up in my body to get that full stretch. So you know, stretching, I stretch every day, and I've definitely gotten more flexible. I'm able to reach out pretty far. I mean, I can almost put my hands like pretty much flat on the ground now. I'm gonna bend a little bit. And then I go. I mean, sometimes it'll vary, like depending if I'm more sore in one area than the other, then I'll focus more on that part, but I usually stick to the routine. My hamstrings are feeling pretty good, so that's a good sign. It's really important after these sprints and stuff and like lifting. You know, tomorrow I've got a pretty hard push on the water and I want to make sure I'm loose. This past 2 weeks have been pretty tough, and now I'm getting towards the end of the hard stuff. I'm gonna have one more hard week next week. I think it might be a little less hard, like more technical, which you know, whatever coach says, I'm not too sure, but I mean, there's a overall plan, but I don't really see it, you know, like I see the overall plan, but I don't see the workouts every day. Like my workouts are day by day because it all depends on how I'm feeling that day. Like after, you know, pushing really hard, my coach kind of reassess, we kind of reassess, and I mean, even if I'm tired and beat, we'll still do the workout, but it might be a little modified. And I don't know what I'm doing every day. Like, well, I do, but I don't know what I'm doing like 3 days in advance, you know? I only know 1 day in advance, so it keeps me really in the present. I'm not looking past 1 day. I really like it like that. Yeah, so you know, staying in the present is something I really like about this. It really helps. I'm not worried about what I'm gonna do a week later, like a workout that's coming up. I just kind of take day by day. I know what to do that day, and that's all I'm focused on. I'm not focused on next week, what workout's gonna happen in 3 days, even 2 days. I'm just focused on today and the next day, and that's it. Sitting down, I try to loosen up real, like my butt, loosen it up under my legs, and I try to pull my toes to my body. I have 1 more week of crucial training, and I got to get through tomorrow first. Tomorrow is another crucial day. Got to get through that, and then we got the Super Bowl on Sunday. I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl. Definitely pulling for the Niners. I'm not really a big Chiefs fan, mostly because they're kind of in a dynasty right now, and I'm not really a big fan of dynasties in the NFL, but in college, it's, you know, who doesn't like a dynasty if it's not your team, right? Like the Falcons are nowhere near a dynasty. Georgia's the only dynasty right now in college football. That's a fact. What's next? Oh yeah.